Well, here I am. I have a stand and a ring light. Was this really... I'm looking at myself right now. Hold on. This can get a lot brighter. Was this really worth all the hype? For me and for my sister-in-law, if you're watching. Was this really worth it? I don't notice that much of a terrible difference between that. It's like at a more flattering angle and the light's slightly more flattering. But I also like... I'm not feeling that much of a difference here. But maybe to you, there's a perceived beauty that I'm not seeing. So I don't know. Look, this shit can get real fucking bright. Oh, yeah. That's the stuff, isn't it? And yeah, that's just not going to happen. I'm about to go to sleep. And this amount of blue light before I go to bed, not going to happen. Sorry, but I thought I'd make a quick video. So actually, I'm starting to see it now. I'm starting to see the appeal. The bangs still look like a cry for help, and, you know, the skin's a little oily-doily, but we're going to keep calm and carry on and do what we're coming here to do. But I can not stop staring at myself, so that has to be a step in the right direction. But, basically, I wanted to make this video to do a little accountability type thing. I'm setting some goals for myself throughout the rest of 2025, some more, like, bigger goals. And I want to use this as a way to keep myself accountable for those things for my sake, and also for the sake of anybody who watches these videos. A sort of hint at content I will be making ahead, whether that's in the span of weeks, months, or lots of months, or lots of weeks. But, I have my calendar that's just over here. I'm just gonna grab it really quick. I'm gonna diary some of this in. I'm trying to think of the main things that, the main two I mean, the big goals that I'm setting for myself that come to mind are, like, 2 ventures mainly. I guess maybe 3 if you really think about it, but the first one, or the third one I'm thinking of, is a little bit more within my sights. Got my cute vintage poster thing. So, to put things into perspective, I was doing really well with my calendar. My calendar, as most calendars do, started with January, right? So I did really well, crossed off all the dates, had a lot of things going on, had to move things around, but it's fine. We stuck to day-to-day things. Same thing with February. Oh! Never mind. I'm actually just seeing this now. On February, I actually didn't cross off, like, the last week of February. Well, that was silly of me, wasn't it? I'm a bit of a month too late for that one. For the sake of completionism, we're just going to go back and cross those out. But, so March is finished, but March was what my calendar was turned to. We are now, I think, a week into April? I don't know, actually. Where are we in April? I'll find out later. But, this might help me a little bit. I think we're a little over a week into April, and I haven't crossed out or put in anything. This one event, a friend of mine's 21st, is the only thing that I have marked in here. So, I am thinking that I want to fill this out a little bit more and get back on track with the idea of scheduling, because when my life was a little bit more scheduled and everything was put in place, I felt a little bit more of control over things. And I know we have talked about in the past that control and relinquishing that is something I'm trying to get used to, but it's all in moderation, right? So I'm thinking that control in this aspect of my life, at least knowing where I'm going to be at certain times, is going to lead me to be a little bit less frantic, a little bit less frantic and chaotic when it comes to those things. So, I need to fill out my shifts from work and my piano time and my workout times and all that really boring shit that I really don't think you need to be here for. So, the main things that I want to promise myself here in this video pledge right here is that my goals, so, in the next month, I'm going to finish up my skin specialist promotion position, the training for that at my job, and become a qualified skin specialist at my workplace. I don't know. For safety of my contract with my workplace, I'm not going to say where I work. I feel like most people who watch these videos know where I work, and I feel like if you're a smart person, you can probably conclude where I do. But I'm not going to say it by now. Oh, it looked like a little, uncircumcised penis. Jamie, I'm just gonna stop that right there. Let's not circle back around to that. However, adolescence, that's something. Watching that is gonna be on my list of things. Jamie, I'm gonna get you to lift up your penis for me. Make sure you're not hiding anything in your scrotum. There we go. That was it. Okay. Goal number 1, skincare specialist promotion. Get the training done for that. Goal number 2, in May/June, depending on the time the renewal of my passport comes in, that's part of the journey, travel to New York for a week to see Lizzie McAlpine on Broadway. Number 2. Number 3, make your short film, These Two Men Hate Each Other, complete by the end of the year. The requirement of that sets me on a little bit of a latter half of 2025 deadline, because I'm waiting for one of my friends to return so I can cast him in it. I could theoretically get it done a lot earlier and cast somebody else in it, but I'm just can't really be asked. And not to mention, after going to New York, I'm going to need just a little bit of time to save up the money so I can pay cast and crew for that. But it's a minimal crew requirement and a minimal cast requirement, and hopefully only 1 to 2 days of shooting. So I think it's wise to do it in the 3rd quarter of the year. 4th quarter? Whatever it is. A later on down the line goal. Potentially an end of the year goal, actually, in adjustment. I want to partake in the Ironman at the end of 2026. So I've been training in swimming very recently for swimming part, but I've been training in running and cycling for a little while now, and it's always been a big, athletic feat that I've wanted to cross off. And just the idea of being able to say that I was able to do that, I think would fill me with a lot of pride. It would just be a nice little check mark on my imaginary bucket list. But what I was thinking is that because there's the Ironman 70.3, which is a half Ironman, with where I'm at, I think it's not unfathomable for me to be able to do that by the end of this year. That one, I will allow myself looseness. I will confirm for myself I will be doing the Ironman for 2026. I'm going to confirm that for myself so I can allow myself the motivation in certainty of doing it, right? But I think doing the half at the end of this year is not impossible. So we will see where we land on that one. And then, what else was it that I wanted to do? So we got skincare specialist promotion, Lizzie McAlpine in New York, my film, Ironman 70.3. I think that about surmises the goal of it all. The goals that I can think of right now. Other stuff is just minor things of singing, musicianship, things like that. Trying to do that a little bit more. But an overall goal, this is something I maybe just want to touch on at the end of this. So my friend sent me a video the other day that actually was really nice. And it was about the idea, a quote that really stuck with me. And maybe this will be cringe and stupid to a lot of people watching this, but it actually resonated with me a lot. So the person said, it doesn't make you a better person to want less in your life, right? And I think, I've held myself back from doing a lot of things that I've always wanted to do, and doing those things by myself, and just because I wanted to do them, because, I don't know, some form of societal pressure. And I think I'm going to try and avoid those things, and try and push myself past that comfort zone of what people may expect for me. And just kind of get on living as a more authentic version of myself. And that is easier said than done, absolutely. But it is important to me to push myself in that direction. So when it comes to pursuing like music and singing stuff, that's something I've wanted to do for a really, really long time and push myself through and get more into a habit of doing. But I've always felt a little bit limited by the idea of like maybe people's perceptions of my talent or my ability. And I just came to this realization today that my ability and my talent really has nothing to do with it. There are a lot worse musicians than me, and there are a lot better musicians than me, and there always will be. So I think I might try get into a habit of singing more on this channel, singing more in real life. I don't know, something like that. But that one is what I'm more addressing on the side because it's less of a tangible thing, where these are like specific events I can actively organize, whereas this is more just a general perception of an endeavor. But yeah, it doesn't make you a better person to want less in your life, and that really opened my eyes to a couple of things. But I think I'm just like trying to exist better as myself. That is probably the overarching goal of 2025 now that we're 4 months in. But I think we've already come a really long way since the start of the year. From the start of the year, I was severely depressed, battling with a complicated relationship with eating, and I had really no sense of where my life was going at that time. And I think that I don't think I have a better idea of what really I want to do, or what like the big overarching thing of like the big overarching path, I guess, that lays ahead of me leading towards something bigger. I don't know. I don't really know anything about that right now, and I don't think a lot of people do. But what I am in pursuit of is things that I just want to do. And I think pursuing the things that you want to do in life push you further towards a version of yourself that you want to be. So that's going to be, yeah, I think that's going to be a good place to start, just by doing these things and making sure that by the end of 2025, I'm happy with some of the shit that I did. And setting this goal for myself in these more tangible ways and in a sort of video promise, I think that's a good place to start. Anyway, so thank you for joining me on my first ring-lighted video. I hope it was worth the wait. I hope I'm just as beautiful with a ring light as you imagined I would be. But, yeah. Have a lovely rest of your evening or day or afternoon or whenever you're watching this. And, yeah. Bye.